Guess where I've been this past weekend? Well, hello everyone, this is Joe Drums coming to you. Hope you guys are doing great. I, on the other hand, have not been doing great. I had some issues last week that I want to tell you about. Some things have changed, so I guess I'll start with last Tuesday. I had woke up from my sleep in the morning and I felt like I had like a little mosquito bite. Didn't think much of it, you know, started scratching it a little bit because it itched like a mosquito bite. And I went on to work and taught, and next day I got up and started looking a little more red and puffy, and I looked a little bit closer and looked like maybe 2 holes instead of like 1 hole with the mosquito. So long story short, I kind of detected it seemed like it might be a spider bite. I was going to call my doctor, and I figured, well, now I'll put some Neosporin on it, and, you know, antibiotic ointment, it'll take care of itself. No, it was getting worse. And then Thursday, it started getting really red on my arm. It started turning different colors, and I thought, uh-oh, I am in trouble, so I need to call the doctor. So I called the doctor. They didn't have anything available for Thursday, but they did have something for Friday. So I went in there Friday, and the doctor said, get into the hospital right now. I'm going to write you a note. You get in there as soon as possible, and they need to look at that. So I went into emergency and Friday afternoon, and they said we're going to have to operate. And I was like, operate? Oh no, man, I can't do this. What's going on? You know. So they put me on the table and they numbed the area. They didn't knock me out, and they cut into where the bite wound was. And there was all this, you know, pus and blood and infection going on. And they got most of it out as far as they know, and then they wrapped it. And I thought I'd be going home. And they said, no, you're staying the night. And so I was staying the night Friday night in the hospital, got up Saturday morning, stayed there. They were taking blood work left and right, trying to find out what, you know, this could be. They couldn't really tell what kind of spider it was, but they knew it was some kind of spider. It wasn't venomous enough to, you know, kill me, so obviously thank God for that. But in the meantime, they opened up the wound later on Saturday night and decided that they're going to have to go in one more time and cut a little deeper and get the abscess out because it was still, you know, discoloration on my arm. So I was like, great. So they scheduled an appointment Sunday morning. I went down to the operating room. They knocked me out this time. And I ended up getting the rest of the stuff out, or they ended up getting the rest of the stuff out. And they wrapped it up again. They put gauze in it and wrapped it up. And they said, you're going to be staying another night. So then now, you know, Sunday afternoon, I'm there, Sunday evening. And then finally Monday rolls around, Monday morning. The doctor came back in, looked at, you know, pulled out the gauze, everything, looked at it and said, well, it looks pretty good. We're going to send you on home, so we want to put you on these antibiotics. Because I was on antibiotics intravenously in this arm here. So like I said, I was like a human pincushion this whole weekend. And so anyway, I got home. I actually started to teach. I didn't even feel like being home. I just wanted to go teach and start spreading the word of drums again. So I did that, and everything's starting to get back to normal now. However, I can't play the drums because I have this big hole in my arm right now. I've got it covered with this Band-Aid. I had a gig this weekend. I had to cancel that. So a lot of things going on, you know, with that. But however, I can't do, in this video today, I'm not going to be able to play the drum set. But I want to give you some old videos and stuff that I had laying around on VHS from a long time ago. So I'm going to show you some of that stuff today. I hope you guys enjoy it. Until then, you guys keep rocking. I'm going to be back in action pretty soon, so, you know, keep watching me and keep liking the videos, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. You guys take care. Keep rocking.
earliest I can remember is probably about 5 or 6 years old, watching a parade. And when the drum line went by, I just remembered it just moved me. I was in the 4th grade, and there was a person from the local music store came and demonstrated all the instruments. And for some reason, you know, I said, I want to play the drums. The first thing that I noticed playing in the large venues was I could play as loud as I wanted and it wasn't a problem. So then I realized that I had to actually pull back from trying to fill up the space with sound. I had to really develop more of a touch and more of control to hold back so I could pace myself to play the music all night long and not burn myself out after like 3 or 4 songs. To be able to project outward to the size venues we were playing took really simplifying my playing in a lot of ways. I cut out a lot of the little notes and the ghost notes and the little rolls and things, and made my playing more obvious and big. And that worked. I left a lot of space in between the notes, because if I didn't, it would be a jumble. In the last couple of years, I connected with Fred Gruber, who's a teacher that lives in Los Angeles, and he's been able to really help me get to some new places, because he has such an insight into the mechanics of, how the body works when it's, when playing the drums. Max Roach is somebody that I've recently spent a lot of time now studying his playing, because one of the things that he started doing was playing very musical drum solos, like virtually unaccompanied drum composition. when I work on the technical side of it, it's not to play faster as much as it's to make it easier. So I can access my ideas and they'll come out easier, and I'll be able to play things, more interesting things. And it's like widens the channel that the music can come out through. Then the experience that I can have with other people becomes more intense. And especially if I'm connected with other people that have a similar sensation on their instruments.